I know this as a fact. Combing out your dreadlocks is a long process, but when you have the desire to actually... Yo, what is up guys? I'm really excited to be doing this video. I haven't reacted to people shaving off their dreads in a while. So in today's video, we got a pretty cool lineup on who is actually cutting their hair today. Before we get into this, comment down below if you like short hair or dreadlocks. Since we're talking about cutting hair today, will I be cutting my hair pretty soon? Should I? Actually, comment that down below. Should I cut my hair? Nah, I'm just playing. I'm doing freeform dreads, so I'm actually gonna stick with this journey, and I'm glad everyone's sticking with me through this journey. It's been 2 months already, and I'm super stoked on it. I actually did an update video not too long ago, so make sure to go check that video out. But guys, in today's video, like I said, we're going to be looking at people shaving off their dreadlocks. So give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you guys are new, because I'm actually dropping a whole bunch of content that's gonna help you guys out with your dreadlocks. But today is just for entertainment, and we're gonna look and see people transforming their life. So let's take a look. Everyone knows Tribe Tyler, but he actually changed his name on YouTube back to his just original name. And I seen a little bit of this video, but we're gonna take a look at it of him cutting off his dreadlocks. So he actually decided to cut his hair after 11 years of dreadlocks. So that's a really long time. I had my dreads for 4 years, so I'm not even close to that. I remember seeing Tyler with his dreadlocks and thinking that he had such an iconic set of dreads, and it was really cool. So he combed out his dreadlocks before he cut them. I know this as a fact. Combing out your dreadlocks is a long process, but when you have the desire to actually get rid of your dreads, it's not that long because you're so adamant on getting rid of them. So this is how his dreadlocks started out. It looked like he started out with like wax or beeswax. Looks like that's how he started out, and then twisted it, and then he probably did crochet hooking afterward, and I'm not sure if he did any maintenance after it was already fully mature, because he kind of just let them go. You can see right here during graduation, his hair was a little more mature and it looked pretty good. So I'm really trying to figure out what made him cut his hair, because he was combing them out for a while and it looked like he combed them all out. It looked like he just wanted to cut it afterward. It is pretty cool though how he had his dreadlocks for just about half of his life, so I think it's pretty cool. So yeah, his hair was pretty thrashed when it came out. That's why he cut it. It was all different lengths. And that's really what happens when you've had your dreadlocks for such a long time. You're gonna come out with different lengths because of all of the, you know, different breakages that happens. But I can only imagine what he's going through, like having dreadlocks for 11 years and then going to this. It's a big transformation. But on to the next one, guys. Let's see what else we can get into. This is always very interesting looking at people cut their hair because there's such a big transformation. Let's take a look at this one. He's upset that he's cutting his dreads off today. After 18 years, that's a really long time. Like, that's probably longer than half of his life. That's easily longer than half of his life, matter of fact. And those are really thick dreads. 18 years ago, he got his dreadlocks. That means I was a baby. His hair is probably older than me, maybe. That's really cool though. They were super mature, obviously after 18 years. Like, I wonder what's going through his head. Like, he's had these things for 18 years and he's cutting them off. Like, what goes through your head at that point? You can see that there's some buildup in there, but that's a given. There's gonna be buildup in your dreads if you cut them off or if you comb them out. Regardless, there's buildup in your dreads. If you have dreadlocks, you have buildup. It's always kind of just like cringy watching these videos because you're not sure if they're like excited or happy, or sometimes you'll see people cut their dreadlocks off and then they'll be all stoked before and then they start cutting and then they'll just be upset. So sometimes it's like, are you upset now that you have to cut these things? I know for me personally, I just don't like cutting my hair because I've grown it for so long, and then to just cut it like that, it's kind of just like, man, where's the loyalty? Obviously it is just hair, but it's just a feeling that I get when I've cut my hair in the past. But speaking of cutting hair, I have not cut my hair in close to 5 years, so I'm going pretty strong right now. I want to see if he like rinses out his hair or does like a haircut on himself or anything. That was the last one. He had a mohawk set of dreads is what it looked like. But what would you do? Comment down below. If you were to cut off your dreadlocks, would you go to a barber shop to have them cut it, or would you cut them yourself? Comment that down below. Oh, I bet that feels good. Trust me, I remember when I combed out my hair, sheesh, it felt so good to run my fingers through my hair and to like scratch my scalp, because there's parts of your scalp that you can't really scratch when you have dreadlocks. And I'm telling you, that is so refreshing. Here we go. Here's another good one. I'm really looking forward to this one. Let's take a look. So this guy's cutting his dreadlocks after 8 years of having them, and he has them dyed. The tips are bleached. So let's see the transformation. I love the transformation of cutting hair, especially dreadlocks, because it's such a huge transformation. I always love seeing people go from dreadlocks to waves, and I know it's like a contradiction, and a lot of people are on either side of, you know, waves or dreads, which I do want to hear you guys comments down below. What do you choose, dreads or waves? But he's probably gonna end up waving his hair. Clean fade, especially considering that he had dreadlocks before, because one thing you have to consider going into dreadlocks or getting a fade after having dreadlocks for such a long time is your hair pattern is going to be a little different. It's not going to be the same right away. It's going to take some time. But as you can see right now, he's actually washing his hair, which is going to be really good because it should get his hair back to how it should be. And I'm sure, yep, looks like he's going to end up waving his hair. All right, so here's the final look. Let's take a look. Alrighty guys, it's pretty clean. I'm pretty stoked on the fade, and I'm sure he's going to end up waving. Looks like he's kind of starting, but you can't get waves overnight, obviously. But I think he's going to have some really dope waves eventually. But let's get on to the next person. So this one is cutting dreadlocks after 9 years of growing the hair. Now these are some really dope straight hair dreadlocks. His hair type is probably a 2B. It's not completely straight. It has a little bit of curl to it, which is really cool. If you look at his baby hairs around, I've never really seen this before. Looks really clean though. So this is the before. Has some really skinny dreadlocks for having straight hair too. So that's one thing you really don't see much of. I think this is the first dreadlock being cut. Just cut it. And there you go. So they're actually trimming his dreadlocks. I'm interested to see what it's gonna look like. I wonder why it's taking so long. Maybe they planned on doing this, like going different places to cut his hair. That looks really cool, I'm not gonna lie. Like he has a really good hair texture for dreadlocks, I feel like. Oh, they're cutting them all to the same length. So that's cool. Nice, that's smart. I think having all of your dreadlocks the same length just makes it look really clean and very cool, even if it's messy, like how he has frizzy hair. But it does make a huge impact when they're all the same length, because it just looks very cool. And, you know, I don't know how to explain it, but it looks dope. Like he has a lot of hair though, that's really cool. But you guys, I'm actually tuning into this video. This is actually an 11-year-old getting a set of locks, so I might have to tune into this. But that is today's video. Hopefully you guys really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed making this. I always like looking at people, you know, cutting their hair, not even just cutting their hair, but doing a transformation. Going from dreadlocks to waves, or even just cutting their hair, is a huge transformation. And I think it's really cool to see that part. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Like I said, comment down below dreads or waves, or dreads or short hair. I want to hear you guys' opinions down below. And if you're still here, please go follow me on Instagram. It's Gunther the Great. And if you guys are new and you just so happen to make it to the end of the video, please subscribe. Other than that, I'll see you guys next time. Hopefully you guys do have an amazing day. Matter of fact, have a great day. Peace out and God bless.